Yes, hello. My name is George Prince, and I'm a member in Empowered Network. And I just want to make this quick video coming to you live from my barracks room. You see, I'm a soldier in the Army, 37 years old, been in since 2008, and I'm stationed in Hawaii, Oahu. And I've been in Empowered Network for about, about 4 months now. And I've been in online marketing for about 3 or 4 years, on and off. But in the last year, I've been really buckled down to it. So I'm not really sure how I came into Empowered Network. I didn't join under anybody. I'm not really sure how I became a member. But I was doing online research, and I'm a research fanatic, and someone called me up. I think Empowered Network was part of a package that I later completely canceled. So I'm not really sure, so the circumstances of me joining are unknown to me. However, when I finally found out what all this was, I've been all in for probably about a month now, and but the purpose of this video isn't about a review on Empowered Network. There's so many videos. You can look to your right, to your left. There's all kinds of videos of reviews on Empowered Network. What I wanted to come to you all about is that you probably came on this video if you're looking for something to do about Empowered Network. Probably the title I'll have on this is something like "Don't Join Empowered Network." The thing is that if you come here to join Empowered Network to make money, then it's really time for you to leave, because there is no real purpose for you to be here if you're here to make money. The purpose of Empowered Network, and I've known this since I got into Empowered Network, the purpose of it isn't to make money. Honestly, all that really is to bring people in to Empowered Network, because everybody wants to make money, wants to make extra money online and everything. I make my paycheck online. I mean, my paycheck in the Army, it does me just fine, and I'm a very, very good manager of money, so I don't live paycheck to paycheck. So the thing is that a lot of people out there don't have a job, and they come to Empowered Network to make money and so forth. But the point of this video is to really drive home the point that to join Empowered Network, if you're focused, your entire focus is on making money, and that's the purpose you come to enjoy Empowered, then you might as well not do it. Then it's a complete and total waste of your time, resources, and everything. But if you came here for a higher purpose, if you came here to be released from your worst enemy, basically. You've come for freedom. You've come to help others. You've come for a higher goal. But like I say, if your sole purpose is here to come and you expect the cash to bubble out of the machine and everything, but the thing is that you'll see reviews. You'll see people standing up on stages. You go to events. I have not had the luxury to go to events because I'm in the Army. Taking an absence of leave from the ranks to go to an event, as much as I would like to, is not my choice. David Sharp's been a Marine, so he'll know that you can't just up and leave the Army ranks, and because you'll be dispelled, to put it in non-Army terms. You'll be known as AWOL. So I don't have the option of doing that, but I really don't. Be nice to, but I like to tell my story face to face with people, because I'm that kind of person. Of course, that's another story. I really wasn't. But when I first started out, the point is though that the purpose of Empowered Network has to be understood. In that you didn't come. Empowered Network is to change people's lives. That if you want to put it in a quote, just like Ronald Reagan did, and his little 5-word speech. If Twitter was around there, he could have tweeted that. Now, the purpose of Empowered Network is to change lives, is to make a turnaround to whatever dark path you're down. If you're down, if you're homeless, or whether you're going to 9-to-5 job, or you hate your existence, or whatever is going on in your particular life, or if you're a successful businessman and you want to take it to the next level. People make money here, and that's not really the point in Empowered Network. There's no doubt of that. I have no doubt of that. But the point of Empowered Network, and I'll repeat again, is to change lives, is to bring the members to the point that to make that change. And what I mean by that is that say you were successful, and a lot of people have. Let's say that income disclosure and all that is, read that and everything. But the point is that a lot of people have made lots and lots of thousands, millions of dollars here. The point is to bring that individual to that point of a complete turnaround. What I really mean by that is that every person, society as a whole, has been, has been contingent on this thing that says, you've got to go out, you've got to make money, and then you have your ultimate freedom and everything. But what I've seen is that, when somebody makes money, and society has taught everyone that ultimate freedom is when you are able to buy and do anything when you can, and the way you could do that is be independently wealthy, and that's not really true. So here you are, you've got everything you want, you've got everything for your family, you've got everything you've ever dreamed of ever wanting since childhood. Then what? Then what? Really? Then what? And that's the point that the members are brought to, is that life is not all about making money. The freedom that is brought about making money is not your end goal. Money is only a tool. And you get this shiny ball syndrome. You're going to go and you want your bank account to go up. No. Empowered Network, as I'll go back to say, is to change people's lives. You could go on testimonials and the people who've been on stage and everything. I've never personally seen them on stage, but the videos that I've seen them on stage, and I've watched many of them. They're not all put out by Empowered Network. Or all filtered by YouTube or something else, and the reason why I'm saying this is because it's a point I was brought to before I even joined Empowered Network. There's a lot of people who needs to have a mind change, and that is what will bring freedom. It doesn't matter how much you make. It doesn't matter how little you make. That isn't the point. If you're focused on doing that, then you will be perpetually unhappy. You'll be saying, why did I blow my million or thousands doing this or something like that? And that's a good question. What I see Empowered Network to do is cause people's lives to be turned around. There was a person who was about ready to commit suicide, and now, as far as I know, he's still alive and is successful. And that's the point I'm making, is that the purpose of Empowered Network is to change the mindset of the people who join. Does that mean this is some kind of cult, some sort of religious experience to come and mesmerize you and you'll be walking around as zombies? Well, obviously not. Just go to any one of the events. If you've already been there, that's fine. It's obviously not the case. The point is to cause you. The point is to cause you as an individual to change, to have a mind change. Let me bring some examples. Before I joined the Army, we were in our own business. We ran our own business called Orders Recovery Systems. Fully registered, been around for years. And it's a nonprofit LLC. Me and my family, we go into that. We ran a construction business, and we've just generally helped people out. And whether it was with the mobile homes or whether it was with with a farm. We live in Texas, and just all kind. We help the townspeople out. We just because we had an enormous amount of skill. We're talking about from when we were raised up. We plumbing, electrical, cement foundation, brick and mortar. Building and making reservoirs. Steel work, woodwork. We're talking about fine cabinetry or carpentry or exterior. Cider panels. Not just building your own sheds and everything. We're talking about 2-story buildings, and that we would do, and we would do it, and they would last for eons. I could go on for hours. The kinds of things that we, as a whole and collective, were able and still are able to do. Well, we all joined in 2008. 4 my brothers and one of my sisters joined the Army in 2008 to do our patriotic duty. Sounds pretty cheesy, doesn't it? But we actually did it. We actually joined to do our patriotic duty. Time of war, we joined to assist our nation. So that's a whole other story. But the thing is that this is my story, and this is. Just remember that when I'll get on all kinds of tangents and everything, but as I typically do. But take this to heart. When I'm finished with my account, go remember these 2 things. Empowered Network is here to change lives. Now, everyone that gets up on stage will always hark back to that point where they had that aha moment. They had that where, this is the point where I turned around. And now I will share with you the point that I made my life turn around. But it actually wasn't up to me. I'll go into that. Now I was in the Army, but before I joined the Army, I always had this kind of bad attitude, and my parents, my family would just be telling me, you can't be that way. It's not healthy for you, blah blah. And the problem was that I was a very negative person. And okay, you're asking my team members, fellow battle buddies, they'll say anything but that. But it's because of such a night and day difference that no one really knew that. And you have no idea how negative I was. And so, my part of the business, I maintained the yard equipment as one of my things. I was into automotive. I know everything about small engines, and I would do all kinds of modifications on them and everything. But, things would go wrong. Things would break. Things would not work out. That just made me mad. Okay, everybody gets upset, but no. The problem was that I knew it was going to happen. Listen to those words carefully. I knew it was going to happen. A pin would fall out of place. We were building an engine, and a critical part the Babbitt bearing or something slips out of its place. And before I knew what happened, whether I was actually working on it or not, I knew it was going to happen. And I would work on electronics and figures. Something would happen, a waft of smoke, and the board's done for. And I would, solder all kinds of stuff. Just one of the things we're into, building your circuits and everything, but we're never really successful in that because, figures. It was a very pessimistic attitude I had. It didn't matter what I was doing, whether I was, maintaining the yards, or whether I was weed cutting, and I would try to say, rose-colored glasses, everything's fine, and then trip over a stump or something, fall straight on my flat. And it just went on and on this way. I didn't have a life of recklessness or anything. We always kept learning and always kept pushing forward and everything. And but it just wasn't the easiest way. Everyone tried to tell me, stop being negative. Every time I get in a conversation, I always look at the negative side. This could happen, or that could happen, or putting up a wall, or this could happen, fear, and all that type of stuff. And you know what, it did happen, or it came close to happen, or something like that. It happened all the time this way. Whether I'm doing this could go happen, and it did happen. I maintained chainsaws or something. It says, oh, I filed the chain wrong, sharpening it, wrong angle figures. I got the wrong angle wrong on it. Now it's all ruined. Blah 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 blah. I could go on and on with how negative I was, but everyone tried to tell me, try to instruct me, you can't be this way. It's not going to do anyone but yourself harm. It's just not good. And it just went in and went out, went over my head. Didn't do any good. It didn't make any sense to me. I thought I understood, but then it was just like only in the head. And I'm going to be positive today. And it was just like the rotten apple crush, and it was gone. It didn't sink in. So when I joined the Army, we were raised apart. All of us were. We didn't go to public schools or anything. The family wanted it that way, and I was glad they did have it that way. And so the first time around, any kind of a lot of people at one time was in basic. It was kind of culture shock for all of us. We all had to adapt, just like the birds. Feather out of the nest, they need to fly or end up on the ground. So, that was the way with us. So, we all wanted to join, and so we did it all together as a whole. I always do everything as a whole. So, we joined, and then we went through our 9 weeks of basic training. So anyway, I'm probably not really good saying this account with all us and everything, but hey, might as well get started somewhere. So here I went to basic training, and I'll try to make this quick so probably don't run out of time. And we, anyway, I got real sick, and I can't go into great detail because probably don't have time. Anyway, thought I'd be recycled and everything, because I ended up 1 week and in intensive care, or was it 2 weeks? And that was the end of the basic training cycle. And when you go to the end, and you just have to be recycled. So I thought, sure, I was going to be recycled and everything. And that was another negative attitude. This is going to happen, that's going to happen. I'm going to have to go through all this trouble. I went to Fort Jackson. It was really easy, but the only hard time I had was when I was just real sick. But I still kept on pushing through it. And the only time I went as far as going to any kind of sick calls when I was forced to. And otherwise, I never seen inside a hospital. I never wanted to in the first place. So we never taken pills or never needed to all our 30-some years. And so, it wasn't going to be any different then. So the thing is that I came to this point when I was so low in health, I couldn't, you take for granted, okay, I'm going to go and open that door, I'm going to walk out. Well, you couldn't do it. I couldn't do that. I couldn't go in and walk anywhere. I was stuck on a bed, hooked up with a bunch of tubes, all these antibiotics and everything. Couldn't even function correctly. It was to me a very bad experience, and I probably don't have time to go into it. But the point is it brought me to a real low point, and at that time, I was really fearful. Negatively so, that I was trying to fight the fact and trying to get out of bed, trying to go so I wouldn't be recycled and miss any important training. And I was trying, but the more I tried, the harder I failed. And that was the point where, towards the end of the week, I was my lowest point. I says, you know what? I'm not going to worry about it anymore. You may think, okay, it's a form of resigning, and you give up your fight, you resign, just let it all happen as it will. Well, you know what? It's because of that it did turn out to be for the good. I did recover, obviously. And so when the drill sergeant came in, and I said, whatever it will be was going to be. And from that point on, I changed. I no longer looked at every situation as being some kind of negative or pessimistic thing. And sure enough, drill sergeant says, "Oh no, don't worry about that. They're going to be recycled. You didn't miss any essential training. We're out in the field, but just night goggles. It wasn't essential training. You're going to graduate with the rest of the class." Well, I almost broke down in tears. Honestly, I did. From that point on, that was my point of change. I was no longer the negative and pessimistic person that I was all those years beforehand. There's a lot of consequences. A lot of things that changed in my life that I have no time in this video to go into. Up to this day, there has been so much has changed, not just in me, but in people around me, and in units, in companies, in brigades. I was deployed to Afghanistan, 9 to 10, Bagram Airfield, and all the way up to division level. It was like a pebble dropped in the water. And because of that change that I made, that I came to at that time, it has had nothing but positive effects on me, on everyone around me, and everyone else that I had nothing to do with. I don't even know them from the moon to the sky. I don't know them. But it changed situations. Now hear me out. Hear me out. Because I changed for the positive, because of that complete opposite image, like a mirror image, from a very negative personality to a positive state of mind, heart, mind, and body, and heart, and mind, and soul. Excuse me, I repeated that. Because of that change, situations that I had nothing to do with, outside, you know what I mean, outside of my control, were affected for the better. If I got into a platoon that was, like they call them dirtbags, you'll just be the scum of the earth. I don't know, how civilians look at. In other words, you're in a bad community, like a bad sort of town. I'm just trying to equate with civilians who may not be in the army, and you just be swept away with it. Not so. Guess what happened? It didn't take very long for the unit and the surrounding situations, even weather, even things like gravity that would have something fall off or break, or a situation that could gone derail, didn't happen. It didn't happen. Instead, the more favorable action took place. I could go on many examples, but I don't know how much time I have. I should have timed it. Such a newbie at videos. But this is my introduction video, and that is my really short, brief time. Everyone's got the point where they came to that point and they made that change. And it was a powerful change. And I don't say that lightly. It was and continues to be, a powerful change. And that's one of the reasons why I really love to get to one of these events. Now, if an event was coming here, I'd be more than happy to participate. However, I don't need to come to an event because my state of mind was changed long before I even heard of Empowered Network. But the point that I'm driving home to you all is that the purpose of Empowered Network is to change lives. You go to any event, you talk to any member who's been in for any extended time, you will hear the same story or former story that I just testified here. Whether it changed in the audience or whether on stage, there was that time where they made the complete and total switch around. Powerful. And the Costa Rica or the audios. God, I can't remember the name of it. It's there to give you your state of mind. You want to be successful in the goals and everything, don't focus on them. That's not going to work. The only thing you should focus on is having the right state of mind. Heart, soul, and mind. You can't have it just a superficial thing in your mind. Oh, I'm going to be successful. Oh, I'm going to do this. It's just thin air. Oh, this is going to happen. No, I don't, I'm not some, mystic or something. But when I say that physical events were affected because of the way I changed, it's interesting. When someone is one way and you change the other direction, it's a whole lot more powerful than the person who started out to be that way in the first place. I kid you not. I kid you not. So, before time's up, the purpose of Empowered Network is to change people's lives. Those aren't just words. Here's my testimony. I didn't get up on stage saying it. I had this change before I even came across Empowered Network. But it sure sounds awfully familiar to all those who were in Empowered Network, the testimonies they have. That change that took place in their lives, and it was 180 degrees around. So, fellow YouTubers, Empowered Network members, Empowered Network members to be, I just have this one thing to say about Empowered Network. It's a hub. It's a hub to change people's lives. And if you want your life changed, this is what you are wanting in your sphere, you want to make the 180-degree change around, and then this is for you. Now, if I'm saying click on the link below, I don't know if I would ever say that, but I'll actually learn how to actually place it in the YouTube clip itself. But that's a whole nother story. I'm a web designer myself, and I am all into that sort of stuff. But I chose to be just candid and simple and honest. Of course, I always am honest. Yeah, you will not see me tell one white lie. I've never lied in my life. Maybe there's times I didn't know the whole story and I said something inaccurate, but not purposely. So this is from the heart. And if you want to have that change and turn around, then Empowered Network's for you. You can be on the same video saying your account, the time, and the place that you had that change. And it's a life-changing change. You'll have it for the rest of your days. So, I would check out the link below. Well, this is my review of Empowered Network so far. Thank you. Bye-bye.